We're here with Anastasiia and Daryna, two young advocates from Ukraine, and Louise Allen, Head of Policy and Advocacy of Plan International's Ukraine Crisis Response. Let's start with some introductions maybe. Anastasiia?
Hello, my name is Anastasiia Pasalska and I am from Ukraine. I am working for a non-governmental organization STAN. Our organization is about encouraging and involving people, young people especially, to social life and social activism.
And Daryna?
Hello, my name is Daryna Ivchenko. I'm a Ukrainian. This is something I'm very proud of. I work in Ukrainian national non-governmental organization Girls. We help basically women and girls to help and to build their life strategy.
Louise?
Hi, my name is Louise Allen and I'm the Head of Policy and Advocacy for Plan International's Ukraine Response, where we're working in Ukraine as well as in Moldova, Romania and Poland.
Great. Thank you for being here today to discuss the importance of youth participation in your country's reconstruction efforts, but more broadly in international partnerships. The EU has provided increasing political, financial and humanitarian assistance to Ukraine and has recently adopted the 13th package of sanctions against Russia. We're still looking at a very difficult situation in Ukraine, including the nearly 4 million internally displaced within the country, as well as for those close to 6 million refugees in Europe. But our colleagues at Plan International tell us how resilient and proactive young Ukrainians are, especially when it comes to planning the future of the country. Let's also not forget the EU's Youth Action Plan as a framework to support young people's participation in peace-building efforts. Anastasiia, you mentioned your work with youth participation. What are the challenges young people are facing today linked to this? What are the obstacles to youth involvement?
Actually, I can say that the main challenge is of course war, and it's very difficult for young people not to be young people. They even can't live their beautiful years because very quickly they need to be like responsible adult people. Also, I would like to emphasize that they have a big pressure about their future. For example, young boys aged 18 years old, if they don't go to the university, they must go to the front line. It's our life and it's not the best scenario for them, I think. And also it's about education. It's very difficult challenge now because it's a lot of universities, colleges are occupied or even destroyed, and a lot of young people need to move to another cities, and they lost their homes. They don't have any place where they can come back. So also I would like to say about challenge with mental health. It's because we have different challenges with which are connected with our material things or something like that, and also it produced different mental health challenges.
Daryna, how has the war affected your work, and how have young people responded? We know many have started volunteering and organizing since the escalation of the war.
Yeah, thank you for this question. Actually, there are a lot of things that can be mentioned, but I will try to narrow them down. So first of all, the educational losses in Ukraine are enormous. Students greatly lack shelters, and even if they have some, they cannot accommodate all the students in one place. So they have online studying or have to study hybrid, which is also not a common thing. Because of that, also Ukrainian young people lose their social circles. They have to rebuild these circles and learn how to remake friends again. One also thing that is impacted our life and that is connected to education as well is the corruption. A lot of Ukrainian young people face corruption when they go to university, and that is also the reason they want to move abroad. So if our government and we want to help our people stay in Ukraine, we have to fight with this problem. Another issue I want to mention, than the one that my colleague Anastasiia said, it's mental health problem. So by now, almost every Ukrainian child is expected or already has signs of post-traumatic stress disorder. Parents don't know how to respond and how to help children in this time of the war. They think that if their child is going to be busy with different extracurricular activities, leisure, hobbies, they gotta forget about war. That is not true. Also, there is a problem with internally displaced people who again lost their social circles. They see lots of unfamiliar places at school. They are in deep stress and they don't know how to react to that. That's why there should be a comprehensive mental health support given to Ukrainians, and it should be age and gender sensitive to take care of children, of adults, teenagers, women as well, because we estimated that women and girls, they require more psychological help compared to men. And the last but not least point that I want to mention is unfair working conditions that Ukrainian young people face. It's especially relevant to IDPs, as for example, they may be the only one money earner in their family and have to combine working and studying at the university, which is again really problematic for them. And a lot of Ukrainian employers don't want to hire them officially because they have to pay taxes, which is not profitable. And again, there is a gap between educational processes that does not always provide real skills, and young people cannot always be competitive in the labor market, which is a great problem as well.
I understand. Regardless of the challenges, the youth is strong in Ukraine and wants to be part of the reconstruction efforts and beyond. This means that they need to be actively involved in policymaking. Anastasiia, how can we make this happen? And Daryna, why do you think it is essential for institutions, governments, civil society to foster youth participation in decision-making? Anastasiia first.
Actually, involving young people, it's not a big deal, really, because now in Ukraine we can see that young people wants to be heard and wants to be seen, but a lot of our stakeholders and decision makers just pretend to do this. I think we can involve young people through the different projects and different programs. For example, it can be some program where you can collect or gather different minds from young people, and after that you can analyze it and create or make policy. Yes, so for me it's very easy, and everyone can do this when you want to do this, actually.
When the invasion has started, a lot of Ukrainian young people started money fundraising for military and for humanitarian needs as well. And I personally was doing it 3 times. I raised money for my school teacher that is in the army now, and that felt as something really important, as something that I have to do. And the problem that sometimes young people have to be led or taught on how to do that, how to volunteer, how to be active. And that's when the civil society, government, different NGOs come in handy, because they're professionals in that and they can teach us. Because we're really active and determined, we can do everything. Except for that, yesterday I was looking up for some statistic, and in Ukraine there are 6.5 million of young people. That's the 6% of the population. And imagine what changes could have been possible if we all knew that our voice mattered, that we can do something. So it's really crucial and important to collaborate and to work with the decision makers, with the different NGOs, workers, to find some common initiatives, and they're gonna help us with it. I often hear that young people are supposed to be the agents of change. We're the leaders of the future, but it would be more wise and intelligent if we are taught on how to how to be as leaders, and that's also one more thing where decision makers may help us.
Louise, part of your work in Ukraine revolves around amplifying the voices of young Ukrainians in policy making. In your experience, how do you think organizations like Plan International can support and work towards more youth-inclusive approach?
So Plan International is committed to elevating the voices of young people like Daryna and Anastasiia, and it's been an absolute privilege working with them and listening to them. Last year we consulted with over 200 young people impacted by the war to hear their views, their ideas, their priorities for Ukraine's reconstruction and recovery. But it's not just about consulting with them, it's about passing the mic. It's about finding, creating, identifying and facilitating spaces where young people can speak directly to decision makers, where they can drive the agenda and where they can speak for themselves. From Plan International's perspective, we also have a role where we can bring young people together and let the young people drive the agenda, shape the agenda. And as Daryna was saying, any support that we can provide, whether it be advocacy training, I mean, you've heard them, they don't need any training, they're amazing. But it's about passing the mic and then also holding decision makers to account. So being steadfast in our advocacy, both to international donors and to national and local authorities, to really ensure that all the processes are inclusive of diverse young people and of marginalised communities, and being vocal in our advocacy as well, when spaces are exclusive of young people.
Thank you. Well, I think one of the key lessons learned from this discussion that we had is that the youth has a big role to play in the reconstruction efforts of Ukraine, but also in international partnerships. I would like to thank you, Louise, and of course our young advocates from Ukraine, Anastasiia and Daryna, for sharing their stories with us. And I wish you good luck with your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you.